It's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. Let's talk about, oh gosh, goodness, another posterior crossbite / POB video. It's such a common problem that we got to do another video about it. So I have a lot of content on posterior crossbites, posterior open bites. That's what this acronym stands for, posterior open bite. This would be a P. I just call this a posterior crossbite. But in any case, these things happen. And one of the best resources that you can do when you're doing a aligner treatment plan is to put the CBCT in the plan, assuming this is a non-growing adult. If this is a growing child, it's probably not accurate because bone often moves as we stimulate it. So I don't think the CBCT function is useful. This is, again, my personal opinion. Even somewhat in adults, there is some bone movement, but the CBCT function in the Invisalign portal or the Spark portal or whatever portal you're using, not all aligner companies have the CBCT function, but it is an extremely useful function if you have it. But, you know, we don't necessarily know. There's a lot of research. There's no way that AI that's in the portal is going to know if the bone is going to follow when you move teeth a certain way. It's just not there yet. So these portals are going to play it safe. They're going to work with what is existing, not is what the potential is. So I call those very safe setups when you use the CBCT. As long as you don't see the fenestrations, what you're doing should be fine. And so far, knock on wood, I haven't seen any problems occur on any patients, and I've seen quite a few CBCT patients and cases over the last few years since it's been released. I haven't seen anything that wasn't accurate. Like I feel pretty confident with that being the safe plan. And again, if you want to know more about CBCT in your Invisalign plan or in your Spark plan, you can go to Straightsmile Solutions, put in the keyword. I think all my CBCT content is Invisalign because I'm not a Spark provider. But I have seen doctors use it in their plans. But just putting the keyword in my YouTube channel, Straightsmile Solutions, put the keyword in CBCT, Invisalign, and all the content will show up. I think it's very good. Anyways, so the nice thing about CBCT, even if you cannot drop it in your plan, if you do have access to a CBCT, and let's say you're using another aligner company that doesn't have that functionality, like ClearCorrect, is you can take this view, which I don't know if you'd call this a sagittal view. I don't know it's like a slice. I think I'd call this like a transverse slice maybe. But in any case, see the curve of Wilson on the maxillary and somewhat on the mandibular is relatively upright. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the maxillary curve of Wilson because the way that we're often getting, and the mandibular, or getting that posterior open bite is because we're trying to expand the arches too much. I love the idea of expanding the crowding away, and I know there's tons of ortho courses out there that are like, just put the wires in, just put the aligners on, expand the crowding away nice and slow. Guess what? If the bone isn't there, it doesn't always follow and doesn't always happen. And a lot of times you get some funky things happening, and this is what you're going to start to see. Once you start to see this, I don't care, no trimming trays or elastics is going to fix this. It's not going to fix this because it's the curve of Wilson causing interferences, causing the POB, assuming it's not a vertical issue. So you got to keep in mind your POB could be a vertical interference, or it could be curve of Wilson. It could be other things too, but those are the two most common things in my opinion. So you have to figure out what's causing that, and this is how you can do that. So I know this title was about fixing crossbites, posterior crossbites and POBs, but I also want to keep in mind if you're tired of knowing if you need to add APR or, should I take out teeth or not really knowing, can I expand? I mean, that's what you got to look at. You got to look at your curve of Wilson. You got to look at your bone. You got to look at your bone transversely, and you got to look at your incisors. These are like crazy flared. And if you get an actual Ceph, now you can't send this to get numbers. If you had a full face, you can get a Ceph. But any orthodontist will tell you these are flared. So, I mean, all it does is take time to know these are flared. You cannot, these are practically outside the bony housing units. If you try to move these more forward, you're going to have trouble. So, I mean, if anything, you'd probably want to move these back to be more stable. And also, it probably doesn't look good. But in any case, I just want to give you kind of a visual as to what orthodontists are looking at when we're doing a Clincheck or we're creating a treatment plan. These are some of the things we can keep in mind. If you have these mechanisms or this technology available for your use, you could definitely make your Clinchecks or your treatment plans way, way better, way more accurate, and take harder cases. All right, thanks so much.